Hello, my name is Mary Jane De La Torre Sevilla. I'm from the Philippines and I'm 52 years old. I'm currently working here in Vietnam as a global perspective teacher in their Cambridge program. I started working when my youngest daughter was only 4 years old. It was so difficult, very, very difficult. My eldest daughter was only 12 years old, and my second one was probably around 5 or 6 years old. It was hard, but I left no choice. I was a teacher as well in the Philippines. I had my own kindergarten school. However, the income that I received in that school was not enough to feed my three children. There was one time a friend of mine messaged me. I wanted to mention her name in this vlog. Daisy. I know if you're watching, I'd like to acknowledge and I'd like to pay my gratitude for having you as the sole person who encouraged me to work abroad. So, but prior to that, I already tried applying abroad as well. However, I was almost scammed because of some Filipinos just wants to get money from us. Thankfully, I did not give any money until we found out that it was a scam. So I feel so disappointed, to be honest. But then I have three children, and I don't know how to feed them if I am only allowing myself to receive money from the kindergarten school. So that was a hard decision. Daisy asked me like, "Hey, me, do you want to go to Kazakhstan?" I don't even know where's Kazakhstan. I said, "For what?" I said, "For work. We're hiring teachers, and it's not that difficult." So I said, "Why not?" So I applied, and to my surprise, I got the job. And a week after, I flew to Bangkok for visa. And a week after that, I was already in Kazakhstan. Can you believe that? It was really, really, really fast. And I would like to recall about my first time when I left my three children. It was very hard. My youngest daughter, Sky, I still remember like she was crying and she thought I will just come back. She thought that I just have to go to, shopping and come back after a few hours or after a few days. And it didn't happen, of course. To cut the long story short, so I was already in Kazakhstan. It was winter time when I came there. I didn't have any thick clothes. I didn't even know that the winter in Kazakhstan was severe. My sister, still remember, my sister in Japan sent me some winter coat. I thought it was already okay, but when I came there, the agent told me like, "Hey, this is so thin. The climate here is terrible. The weather here is really severe." So I said, "Okay, fine. I'll just try my best." So that was my first winter, my first snow. I was very shocked when I was very amazed and shocked at the same time when I first encountered or first saw snow in my life. That was good. Um, I remember my first meal in Kazakhstan. It was a bread with butter, and my table was full of sweets from my landlord. It was their culture, giving sweets. and I couldn't even barely eat the food, the bread, because I was thinking of my children. It was so difficult. It was really, really difficult. But I just told myself, like, if I'm not gonna do this, then what will happen? I mean, I can probably give food on the table, but then how about their future? How about their studies and so on? So I just told myself, like, yeah, you can do this. It's gonna be okay. Thankfully, that work of mine in Kazakhstan was, it's like, we have to work 3 months in that place, and then after 3 months, they will move us away to another city or another province in Kazakhstan. And then there were times like there was no school for us, so the agency would send us home. So that was really, it was real good because of course I still get a chance to see my children during the time. And that was my life for 2 years. So back and forth, like every 6 months, sometimes I go back to Kazakhstan. I went back to Kazakhstan and do the job, and then went home, and then do the same thing. And the salary was okay for a first timer. I remember it was like $900. I guess that was way back 2010. I started working in Kazakhstan 2010 to 2012. And I went back home. There was no school for us anymore. So I went back home. I worked as a call center agent. I have to, the work of call center agent. And my kids are growing, and the expenses are growing as well. So I told myself, what will I do? It's very hard. Um, and then there was one time I was approached by a school principal of Nasser 5 Intellectual School. It's still in Kazakhstan. So I was approached if I'm going to take a chance of working in the school. In 2 years in Kazakhstan, I never heard about that school. So at the beginning, I thought it was a scam as well. So, but I said, I will not lose anything. So I applied for the job, and they told me, like, my math skills, because I'm a math teacher, to be quite frankly. My math skills, I mean, like the math education I got in the Philippines is not as high as, the math in Kazakhstan. It was terribly hard. So that principal told me, like, we have a new subject. It's called Global Perspectives. I don't even have any idea what is Global Perspectives. That's one of the Cambridge subject. So I said, and then he said, just give it a try. So I said, okay. And the reason why he wants me to take the job, it was because I had already 2 years experience in Kazakhstan. I already know the culture. I know the people. I can also speak a little bit of their language. So that was a plus already for me. So I said, I have no idea about the subject. I don't have any experience about the subject, but I want to give it a try. And I thought it was a scam. Um, so in short, I was interviewed. Even I was already interviewed. I was still thinking, like, is this real? Like when they sent me the offer letter, and the salary was like, I mean, like, I even asked myself, is this even real? Can you imagine that? So I gave myself a try, and then the moment they sent me the visa number, I told myself, "Hey, come on, Mary Jane, wake up! This is true." And I said, my life and my children's life will change because of this job. So in short, I got the job. I work in a survived intellectual school, physics and mathematics, for almost 7 years. I love the people there. I love my colleagues. I have family there. I had family there. The food was great. The winter was worse actually. I mean, like, can imagine, like, the worst was like -51. That was really terrible. It was really, really painful kind of winter. But I loved it. I loved the place. I Now, if you wanna ask me if I wanna go back to the country if given a chance, I would say in a heartbeat. I love the place, to be honest. And because the program of the president was finished, so I don't have any choice but to move to another country because there was no job for us anymore. After 7 years, I was given a chance to work in Bangkok. So I was interviewed by the International School Services, the ISS, and was given a job. I taught global perspectives as well in that school, Thai Sikh International Schools in Bangkok. And for 4 years, I worked there for 4 years. It was good as well. I began to develop my business skills. So I had a small business in Bangkok. I tried selling things, beauty products, clothes, everything to different parts of the world, like, Japan, America. I've got so many clients there, and it also helped my finances during that time. And there was something that happened in that school where the reason why I have to move to another school again. I was discriminated. They want my salary to be lower than the others. It's because I was just a Filipino, and it's terrible. I was teaching global perspectives, and I taught my students on how to respect gender, how to respect race, and how to respect nationality. And here I am. I was discriminated just because of my Philippine passport, and that was really, really terribly bad. So I decided to quit. I resigned. No, I did not resign. I just finished my contract. And luckily, I was given a chance as well to work in Vietnam. And I applied for the job, got interviewed, and was hired. And this is my third year here in Vietnam, teaching the same subject, global perspectives. I love it. I love the subject. If you're going to ask me if I'm gonna teach math again, I would say no. I'd love global perspective. It's a subject that helped you and your students to connect to the world. You know, we discussed different global issues and we tried to find some solutions to at least solve the problem. We're teaching skills and not content. We're teaching the students how to make a research paper. We're teaching them how to analyze a source or how to evaluate a source or even how to reflect on something or collaboration and so on like that. So we're teaching kids to be a lifelong learners, and that was really, really good, and it is really, really self-fulfilling to at least to me. Looking back, if I have some chances or choices to, stay in the Philippines and be with my children, I would probably do that. But during the time, I don't have any choice, and there was no chances for me to, to work in a place where it can support my family and my children, especially. Regrets? I don't think I have regrets. Maybe there are times that I feel like, my children are already growing up. My eldest daughter is already 27 and she already graduated from university. My second daughter now in university as well, and my youngest daughter is going to be university student next year. Can you imagine? I left her 4 years when she was 4 years old only, and now she's going to be a college or university student. How time flies, right? I don't think I will say that I'm going to regret of doing or leaving them when they were young. Probably as a mother, I feel bad. It feels so sad, but I am fulfilled. I feel satisfied that I have the chance to give things that my kids need, that I was given a chance to provide all those needs without, you know, it's not bragging, but without, you know, thinking twice. Like, ma, I need to pay this. Okay, fine. I mean, like, it's all worth it. It's all worth it. There are some mothers right now listening or watching me, and mom might probably say otherwise. But I want you to know that the sacrifices I made for my children is worth it. They have good education. They are now studying in some good schools in the Philippines, in some private schools. I know I wasn't a perfect mother to them. I wasn't there for them every time they need me. I was even sometimes thinking like, hey, I am teaching students, kids, and many, many kids already, but I don't have any chance to teach my own kids. You know what I mean? Those are the things that make me sad. Things, for example, if they're sick, there was one time that my second daughter was sick, and I don't know why. What will I do? I don't know what to do. I don't know. I mean, like, I can't even concentrate with my work. It's so painful. It's it's draining. You don't know what will happen, you know, and you can just say like, I wish I'm there for them. I wish I'm there for them. But what can I do? They all know I love them. They all know the sacrifices I'm making. It's for them. No matter what happens, for example, if something will happen to me in this part of the world, I know their lives will be better. They'll be better. So, to all mothers out there who are still thinking whether to go and leave your children behind, I'm not saying that no, I'm not saying 100% yes. There will always be consequences. And seldom mothers around the world can have the same experience that I have right now. I'm just very lucky with my children. They're very responsible kids with their studies. They're very responsible with their money. You know, they don't go to some places that will, you know, harm them. They respect me. They respect each other. They love each other, and that all matters to me. So yeah, working abroad. If you're thinking about the future of your children, it's worth it. It is really worth it. But if you have a choice and a chance to work near your family, do it. I wish I could go back the time when they're young, when you know, when they can still dance in front of you without hesitation. Kids, I wish I could go back the time when I can still play with them. I didn't have that. I didn't have the chance because I was away from them. But what can I do? Everybody, Every one of us has our own our own life to live. And this is my life. But it's all worth it. It's all worth it.